Hi, RD Barry here. Welcome to episode 5 in my basic tutorial of They Are Billions. What I wanted to talk to you about today was the mission objectives for survival missions. I'll talk about the other types of missions in other episodes because those don't really deserve a full episode for just the objectives. The objectives are all the same. For survival missions, those are the ones with the orange or the circular icons here. They can be different. Basically, there are victory conditions and there are failure conditions. If you have one of the failure conditions, the mission will fail. It will you get a mission over, not a game over, but a mission over, and you have to restart the mission to get it to do it right. So this is a typical one with failure conditions, defeat conditions. One of them is always going to be command center cannot be destroyed or infected. The command center is where you actually live. If that gets destroyed, then that is the end. Almost all of the missions have a time limit, so there's a time limit here of 96 days. If you do not like timed missions, this is not the game for you. So be aware of that. As if you increase the or if you make the difficulty setting easier, then the time deadline is you're given more time to complete the mission. You make the difficulty setting harder, you get less time. So even though it seems like you're making the mission longer, it's actually giving you an advantage in that you don't have to do everything in as much of a hurry. For the victory conditions, I've gone through and kind of compiled a list. There's a variety. First of all, destroy all infected. I believe you can see that one in the very first mission, the Hidden Valley. Destroy all infected. What that means is you have to explore the entire map. There might be some areas of the map where you don't technically need to go if you don't want to. But in order to make sure you do that, that's one of the objectives. You can't leave any infected just sort of wandering around out in the boondocks. Another one is colony population. Almost all the missions do have a population goal, so you need to build your colony up to a certain size. As you progress into the game, I believe that this one, the Oasis, has a population goal of 2,600, which is pretty hefty, and so it does go up fairly quickly depending on conditions. You do get additional tools to handle that additional population, so it does balance out, though it does in general get harder the further east you go. Another objective you see in one or two of the missions is they set a certain gold production value. That's pretty rare. I think it only happens in 2, maybe 3 of the missions, but basically you find gold mines. You have to set up or you find gold deposits, and you have to set up mines to get the gold from them. A lot of the other ones, and this is one of them here, it says resist all swarms. Now basically we talked about swarms I think a little bit in the first episode. Basically a huge mass of infected kind of gather and all attack at once. If it says this, resist all swarms, that means that there's going to be one large swarm at the end, and they're going to come from as many open entrances of the map that are possible. In Cape Storm, it was a big we saw at the beginning, or the first episode, there was only one way they could come in, because it was a peninsula and they could only get in through that one bridge, so they all attacked in that one bridge. But most of the other levels, they come in, there are multiple ways in, and they will come in through any way they can. Now some of these missions, for example, Mines of the Raven here, it will not list that. So it does not say resist all swarms there. That doesn't mean that there are no swarms. Basically, you have to, when you open the, when you start the game, and I'll do that in a second here, you have to keep an eye out on where the next swarm indicator shows up, and make sure that that doesn't pop up with a next swarm. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. One more objective I want to talk about is about not sure what percentage. Some more than a few, but less than most of these have a destroy all villages of doom. What that means is they are buildings that have been infected and are heavily populated with infected. If you attack them, then they kind of swarm out at once. So it's a little bit different than a swarm, but it has to be treated sort of like a swarm, in that you get a large attack coming at one fell swoop there. So, and I'll probably do an entire episode just on handling Villages of Doom there. Alright, so I wanted to go into the Mines of the Raven, because that does not have the resist all swarm. I'll go ahead and do a play again on that. By the way, when you do a play again, it does not count for anything. You can either gain or lose points by replaying it. So I'm basically just gonna end this, or exit when I'm done with the recording here. But you'll notice there's nothing to indicate a swarm is coming here. So that kind of got me when I first played this level. It does not say resist all swarms here. It doesn't say anywhere on here that there's going to be a swarm. So I thought I was going to be safe, and I wasn't paying attention. And sure enough, if you let this play, for about a 1 game hour, see there, it shows up right there. So yeah, be aware of that so you don't get caught like I did. this is the next swarm indicator. Keep checking that spot. Just because you don't see something there right away doesn't mean that it's not going to be there very soon. After a few game hours, I think if it's still not there, I think you're safe to assuming that there aren't going to be swarms, and that is one of the interesting features of the game. Sometimes there are no swarms in a mission. Sometimes there are. Usually it's going to be something, though. It's either going to be a swarm or a village of doom. Something that makes the level a challenge. It's not going to be just an exercise in city building. So that's about it for today. Next time I will cover controls and specifically how I set up my keyboard shortcuts. I basically everything that was there I removed. I remapped everything. I think it's really helping me do or play the game. It's purely optional, of course, but I thought there's a few tricks in there that I thought would be useful. So I will cover that next time. Hope you'll join me for that, and until then, bye.